I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Cougar Nation, I'm Dave Diamond here, accompanied by the head coach of women's basketball, Coach Lauren. How's it going?
It's going good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We're gonna get into what happened last week, and then also what you got coming up ahead. So when we kind of recap last Friday, you had your first road series of the year, first road match against Franklin. Kind of a tough showing overall, but you kind of look at some of the bright spots with Grace King out there, 1 rebound shy of a double-double. What does it mean when she's kind of playing her game as well as she can be on some days?
Yeah, I mean, she's going to provide rebounds for us consistently through the year. And I think just looking to get some more offense through her, more strategic with ball screens and things like that, will just help everybody open up perimeter shots. She's doing a great job kicking out when people kind of close out or in on her, and then also just like isolation situations with some of our offensive sets. So her being more aggressive definitely helps our whole group.
Okay. And then kind of looking at the potential constructives for that match, what are some of the things that need to be cleaned up before we get to what we have coming up tomorrow?
Transition defense is huge. We really did a nice job handling their pressure, especially in the first half. I think we kind of moved the ball the way we wanted, the way we were prepared to do. We just didn't execute in the half court. We had good shots, they just didn't fall. But on the other end of it, our transition defense is something that we're going to have a huge focal point on already this morning and then going into today. And it's just that with rebounding and keeping it clean, not fouling, just early season stuff that we need to refine going in.
2022 basketball season inside Geisman Gymnasium, as today's women's basketball team is going to be kicking off their home opener here. I'm Kayla McLeod, joined by Dave Dimeling, and we've got a battle inside Geisman between your Concordia Chicago Cougars and the visiting North Central Cardinals. This is going to be a fun matchup here. It's going to be the first time that we're getting a chance to look at the Concordia women's basketball team here at home. They already started off the season. They're 0-1. North Central already started off their season. They're 1-0. So we're going to see a bit of a battle here today. Concordia looking to pick up their first win.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the things you're going to look to see today, it's been a very tight battle the last two times they've played. So we're going to have to see what kind of the differences they're making between the roster changes, kind of what kind of line shifts they're going to be making. So it'll be an exciting day, opening day, guys.
Absolutely, and you mentioned that these two teams, they've matched up before, and it's been fairly close matchups. The last two outings that these two teams have had against each other, North Central has walked away with the win, but not by a large margin. It's been a very competitive game. It's something that both of these two teams like to play each other because it is a good battle. It's scrappy, it's energetic, and I think that's what we're going to be looking at here today inside Geisman. But with that, Dave, we've got a little bit of a mismatch here because obviously one team starting off 1-0 and the other starting 0-1. What can we expect to see from Concordia to be able to shift that and pick up their first win over North Central?
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to talk to head coach Lauren Martin earlier this week. One of the main things that she was saying, you just got to flip it over, flush it, kind of now that you got those first game jitters out of the way. You're back in Geisman. You got opening day in Geisman. There's no better place to be. Just complete energy flip, and they're going to look to catch their first win of the year.
Absolutely, and something that's interesting here is North Central picked up their first win of the season against St. Mary's College, a team that Concordia is going to be facing this weekend. How does that help CUC in this game?
I mean, there's so many ways you can look at it. You can look at it for just today's purpose of, hey, we know what St. Mary's looks like from the past, so we can kind of use our scouting resources that we have to kind of get an edge for today. But you can also look at it down the road. Now we get another look at, well, this is how North Central played them, and this is how North Central beat them. So if we can take that Cardinal method and beat St. Mary's using that as well.
Absolutely. So looking at today's matchup, let's look for some of those key players for both teams. For me personally, for the Cougars, we're going to be looking to keep things flowing through Grace King. She was your leading rebounder. She was one away from a double-double in that season opener against Franklin College. I think she's going to be a powerhouse here, and especially looking to compete inside the paint the way that they were unable to do in that season opener. I think she's my player of the game to watch for CUC.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that, Kayla. She's an upperclassman who's looking to make a huge impact, one of the leaders on this team. Another thing you got to look at, North Central doesn't have too big of a lineup either. They're only sporting one 6-footer on their entire roster, so Grace is going to be able to kind of work her way in the paint, work her magic, play a little bully ball like she likes to do, and that's something we can count on seeing today.
Absolutely. And on the flip side of that, looking at the player to watch for North Central, I'm leaning towards Jocelyn Trotter. She's been an all-conference player for the last 2 years for North Central. She picked up double digits in their season opener, one of the two leading scorers for that North Central team. I think they're going to be running a lot of that offense through her, but she also gets it done on both sides of the floor.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the interesting things that you're going to see about the Cardinals compared to the Cougars is the Cardinals are able to run it through multiple players. We haven't seen that so far this season from the Cougars. Obviously, they've only played one match, but it's going to be interesting to see who North Central decides to try and feed. They had quite a handful of double-digit scores in that Game 1 win.
Absolutely. We're going to have a battle here inside Geisman in just about 6 minutes. We're going to get that underway. Me and Dave will both be on the call all afternoon with you, so don't go anywhere as we are getting ready for tip-off. Home opener inside Geisman Gymnasium. We'll see you soon. ladies and gentlemen, we are back here inside Geisman Gymnasium for today's season home opener for the Cougars, taking on North Central. North Central getting themselves on the board first with Biz Daly. Let's take a quick look at these starting lineups. First for the Cougars, Kira Holiday, Abby Dykstra, Hannah Lopez, Grace King, and Yone Mora. On the flip side for the Cardinals, as that one in and out for King. For the Cardinals, number 2, Dolly Smith, Grace Kiefer, Jocelyn Trotter, Biz Daly, and Amalia Sanchez. As a 3 from the wing, just off the back iron. Kayla McLeod here, joined by Dave Dimling. Dave, we are in for a treat. As we were mentioning on the pregame show, these two teams very evenly matched, and we're already seeing that so far here today.
Absolutely, Kayla. I'm very excited to see kind of what both teams have to offer, because we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. The Cardinals have a plethora of ways that they can score the ball, but CUC kind of has a different situation, as you're going to get a shot from right there, just off. CUC, on the other hand, is going to be sporting a lot of depth today, as you didn't quite see a clear starting 5 or 6 in their first matchup. Kind of a huge spread of the wealth with the minutes spread overall.
And that's something that is very interesting to note about this CUC roster, is that spread of the wealth here. Not really having a big gap between your starting 5 and your next 5 up is going to be key for them. But another thing that we're seeing so far today is those shots that are just missing for the Cougars. They fell in their first game of the season against Franklin College, and one of those big pieces of that was not being able to connect on their shots, as Dykstra has one that just misses once again. And it's going to be key for them to start hitting those shots. And if they're not able to hit from outside, finding their way into the paint and making it happen. And something like this, where you're getting a foul early on after getting on the offensive board, that's how they're going to do it.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the things you're seeing early, too, from North Central's side is they are running a soft press to start things out. Something that CUC saw in Game 1 as well this season.
A nice drive there from Yone Mora, and the Cougars are on the board.
Yeah, you're going to love to see that one all year long from CUC did struggle with that press a little bit in that game, that season opener, so we'll see if North Central is going to try to keep that look going today, or if CUC will be able to break it and force them to change things up.
Nice little jumper inside from Sanchez. And the Cardinals are staying aggressive early on here, getting a hand on that, shaving a couple seconds off of the shot clock, but Cougars still in the backcourt here. This full court press proving to be effective. CUC moving quickly. The feed inside to Dykstra. Dykstra brings it back outside the three-point line. Cougars sporting their new gold jerseys. As a nice backdoor cut from Lopez. The kick out to Dykstra, 10 on the shot clock. She's cutting in, looks to kick it back out to Lopez, but just out of reach. But as I was saying, some brand new uniforms for the Cougars, some new gold uniforms with a nice outlined trim, and something that's new this year in the NCAA women's basketball is not needing to tuck your jerseys in. So we're seeing the Cougars sporting that here today with a very old school style of look in the new uniforms, taking advantage of a new NCAA ruling. As that one is poked away, Yone Mera coming away with it. A 3 from Lopez off the front iron, rebounded by Smith. The cut inside, driving layup, no good. Rebound from Daly, up and in for 2.
Yeah, Biz Daly's kind of had her way so far to start this game in that paint. CUC's going to have to find a way to help Grace King just a little bit more, as she's kind of struggling with that height differential that she's experiencing right now.
Absolutely, and you talked about it a little bit on the pregame show as well, about the height, and Daly being the lone 6-footer here on the floor between either roster, and Grace King is going to have her work cut out for her inside today. As Dykstra picks up the first Cougar foul of the day. fresh 20 on the clock for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Coach Martin can't be too upset about that one, as that one's just kind of a hustle foul right there, so you can't be mad about aggressiveness.
Absolutely not. And this is something that after their battle against Franklin, Cougars were running into some foul trouble early on in the game, so seeing the slower pace and even just having your first foul be one of those hustle plays, not something that we've seen so far out of the Cougars early on in the season, so it's a good change of pace. Shot clock under 5. Yone Mora strips it away, and she's got a fast break. Yone Mora on her own, up and in for 2.
Huge bucket right there to bring within 4.
Yone Mora showing her athleticism here inside Geisman. The debut inside Geisman for the freshman from Japan, as that 3 is no good from Kiefer. Cougars coming down quickly. King outside the three-point line, kicks over to Dykstra. Hand off to Yone Mora. And they're going to get, I believe, Smith on the foul here. They do. Dolly Smith called for the foul. That's going to put Yone Mora at the line for 2.
Yeah, so far, Yone Mora has been the shining star for the CUC offense. Obviously only 5 minutes into the contest, but looking to pick up her 6th point of the day.
Yone Mora 1 for 2 on the season at the free throw line after just 1 game. And she tacks 2 on right there. And quickly, Cougars are down by 2 only. Smith at the top of the key here. Up top for Kiefer. Feed inside and a wide open Daly inside the paint. Lopez trying to smack that one out of there, but you cannot leave Daly open inside the paint and expect her not to score.
Yes, CUC running the 2-3 zone, trying to limit the amount of paint reps that Daly's going to be getting, but when they get spread so thin, it forces a tough spot when they have a couple guards or forwards. This is a great move right there by Yone Mora. Oh, mercy.
Oh my goodness! I believe everybody and their mother jumped out of their shoes in Geisman on that one. Cougs once again down by 2, and the energy has shifted.
You got to remember, this is the Cougar faithful's introduction to Yone Mora as well, and she's putting on a clinic so far.
Absolutely. That is one thing about Geisman Gymnasium. It is great to play in if you're the Cougars. It's a pest to play in if you're not. They're going to catch someone on the floor, I believe, for the foul. I think it's going to be before the shot. They're going to get Dykstra here on the foul. We're going to see our first wave of subs for both sides. Some fresh faces on the floor for the Cougars. Checking in, number 22, Lindley Southern. As a strong up from Sanchez is rejected. And the Cougars heading down the other direction, but checking in for the Cardinals, number 1, Kate Earn, as that long ball misses. Also checking in, number 13, Kennedy Hartwig. The 3 from Trotter, no good. Rebound by Holiday.
Yeah, and that's what CUC is going to be willing to live with today. As you see that strong help side defense right there to kind of help Grace King with Daly. They're going to be okay with North Central shooting a couple more open threes.
As that one misses back iron, Trotter with the rebound. And they're going to call the foul. Cougars unhappy with that one. Yone Mora dinged for that.
Cougar faithful thought I had all ball right there, but Stripe sees it a little differently, and because of that, Daly's going to be shooting 2 at the stripe.
Daly now at the line for the Cardinals. 1 for 3 in game 1. Makes that 1 for 4 after missing her first free throw here. Also subbing in for the Cougars, number 55, Sophia Pedraza. 8-11 in favor of the Cardinals, under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cougars coming down quickly. Pedraza now, she kicks it out to Holiday. Holiday directing traffic, sends it back over to Yone Mera. King outside the 3. She's got space, so she's going to take one. No good. Rebound goes to Earn. She's coming down. Feeds it inside to Daly. Daly able to get around King, but can't finish the layup. Grace King with the rebound. Grace King, we talked about it in the pregame show, Dave. She's a force to be reckoned with. She was very, very beneficial for the Cougars in game 1. She was 1 rebound shy of a double-double. And she was really the heart in that game. She was all over the floor. She was bodying up where she needed to. She was taking the shots that she needed to, and we're seeing that so far here today as well.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the things that CUC kind of thrives off is the energy and the effort that you kind of see out of players like King. It really just sets the table for kind of how the whole lineup needs to play.
As that ball, a little bit too much juice through the hands of Lindley Southern. Seeing some more subs coming in on both sides. Number 3, Emma Nickerson in for the Cougars. And coming in for the Cardinals, Aleo Reddit. Reddit outside. She feeds it into Daly. They kick back out. 3, no good. The only Cardinal in the area gets the rebound, but throws it away, trying to keep herself in bounds. Southern now coming down the near side of the floor. Kicks it up to Yone Mera. Nearing a minute left in the quarter. Nickerson has space for 3. She takes it. That's off. Rebounded by Earn, coming down for the Cardinals. Short corner shot, no good. Little back and forth. Yone Mera jumping, and she's able to bounce it off of Daly to keep possession with the Cougars. A great high IQ play there.
Yeah, really just stacking up the highlight reel, and it's only the first quarter.
I mean, when you've got your first showing on your home floor, can you really expect anything less? Southern at the top of the key, officially under a minute here in the first quarter. Kick back out to Nickerson. Southern looks to feed it into King, has it broken up by Daly. It's a good look for the Cougars to try to get something inside, try to free up some more space, but not going to be able to get anything easily fed inside when Daly is there. And Daly is going to try to get past King, and King is going to pick up the foul, trying to not let her have an easy one. Subs coming in for the Cougars. Kira Holiday coming back out on the floor. Abby Dykstra also coming back out on the floor and making her first appearance here inside Geisman. Number 21, Jocelyn Chamas.
Yeah, Coach Martin at CUC kind of bringing a kind of 5-out, pretty small lineup for this one, knowing they got one possession left. Might as well try and force the big to kind of get a little out of the paint, see if they can force something.
Cougars been on a scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes now, 0 for 5 from the field. So just looking to get something going here in this last possession. Pedraza here, hands it off to Holiday. Holiday taking a glance at the clock, making sure that they've got the final shot here. Good pressure from Reddit. Dykstra driving in, she's gonna be rejected. Holiday looks, but instead she feeds it into Nickerson. Nickerson up, no good. The rebound goes to Daly, and that's gonna do it for quarter one here inside Geisman Gymnasium. Cardinals leading 14-8 after the first 10 minutes of play. We're gonna take a quick break right here on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll see you back for quarter two. here on the Cougar Sports Network for quarter number 2. North Central Cardinals leading 14-8 after the first 10 minutes of play. Abby Dykstra bringing the ball down the floor for the Cougars. It's been a back-and-forth battle here a little bit. The Cougars is still on a bit of a scoring drought. Chalmers throws one up, and she's going to be fouled by Hartwig, and that's going to put her at the line for her first free throws of the day.
And finally, potentially going to see somebody else putting some points on the board between these two teams, as it's mostly been just the Daily Show and for the Cardinals, and then the Yanamura Show for the Cougars.
First one is good for Chalmers. So as you mentioned, getting something on the board here, and that's going to break their scoring drought after the last 4 minutes of the first quarter. The Cougars did not put a basket in, so getting some things going here once again early in the quarter. Cardinals looking to move fast. A pull-up for Earn, no good, back iron, batted around, and the Cardinals come away with the offensive board. Little back and forth, trying to get that one up and over was Reddit, but no good. And Holiday's going to be fouled into the backcourt by Kiefer. This North Central defense keeping up with the full court press, and they're trying to play aggressive, but a foul, a ticky-tack foul in the backcourt this early on, not something that you need, especially out of a senior like Kiefer.
No, definitely not. One of the things that we're seeing so far is CUC hasn't had too much trouble breaking the press. But on the other side, there's no reason for North Central to really come out of it because they're kind of slowing down as soon as they get into that half court.
Dykstra with a big-time 3 for the Cougars. Abby Dykstra getting things rolling for CUC. The first 3 of the season inside Geisman Gymnasium, but the Cardinals answer quickly. They're going to capitalize on CUC anytime the Cougars have a little bit of juice going. The Cardinals answer right back. Kira Holiday driving in. She takes it with her left hand. No good, but they are going to call a foul here. They're going to get Reddit for the foul, and that's going to put Holiday at the line.
Yeah, Holiday might have gotten a little lucky on that one. That could have been for sure and one opportunity, but got a little lucky with the whistle blow there.
Holiday finding just a little bit of space to get through, but she saw that there was a lot of space within the paint, and so taking those long strides to squeeze through your defenders and then take advantage of that, you just got to finish with it.
Absolutely. We'll see if after this free throw, CUC can try and solidify some momentum, potentially get a stop and a score on the other end to knot things up.
One possession game here. Daly back in for the Cardinals as the 3 is up and good for Earn. Kate Earn 1 for 3 from the three-point line in their last game against St. Mary's. And already 1 for 2 here today. We're going to anticipate seeing her continue to take those shots if she's got some space. But Dykstra coming into the paint. She's got a nice floater that's up and in for 2.
Dykstra, one of those few upperclassmen on this CUC roster, is making a pretty solid impact so far in this second quarter.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not a lot of upperclassmen on this roster, but Dykstra, a transfer coming in for CUC that's able to provide a new spark for the Cougars in just having a new face on the floor, but also some experience as Chamas has a short corner pull-up, no good, and the Cardinals coming away with the rebound. That 3 is once again good for Earn. Again, I mean, 2 for 3 here from the three-point line in the second quarter. We're going to see her continue to take those threes if she's given that space.
Yeah, it really is a double-edged sword because now if you try to overcommit on that, you're leaving your defense in a tough spot against Daly in the middle.
A little turn shot there from King, no good off back iron. That's a nice-looking shot, though. She kept the ball high, looking for some options from the high post, and just unfortunately not able to get it as Earn looked like she was going to try to pull up for another one. Instead, dishes it around. Trotter kicks it back out. Kiefer She gets Yone Mera to jump, and she's going to make her pay by sinking that three. And we're going to see a timeout here from head coach of the Cougars, Lauren Martin. I mean, the momentum shift is just immaculate here from the Cardinals. The Cougars start to get a little bit of a burst with that big-time three from Dykstra, and then the Cardinals turn around, and they're just going to put the hammer on them on the offensive end. And now we're looking at a 25-16 lead in favor of the Cardinals.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the things that you started to see just a little bit on the Cougar side of the ball as far as offense goes is they started to settle just a little bit, taking a few too many jump shots early in the shot clock. They see what North Central's doing on their side, banging a couple threes here and there, and they figure to give it a try on their side. There's nothing wrong with being a confident shooter, but you have to understand that on the other side, when their big is struggling a little bit, getting a little tired early in the second quarter, this is when you take it to them, kind of take her out of the middle, try and force those early looks in the charge circle if you can.
Absolutely. A 6-0 run for the Cardinals in the last 48 seconds. Meanwhile, the Cardinals gone 4 for 5 from their last field goal attempts. So just really finding some momentum, and we're seeing that kind of translate a little bit as the Cougars try to move quickly. Dykstra with a three. She's going to answer back herself. Abby Dykstra drains a three, steals some momentum.
It's shots like that that's going to force North Central out of that press. So we'll see if they can kind of maintain that pressure.
Yone Mora jumping once again. Cardinals unable to get it, and the rebound into the hands of Smith, but stripped away. Holiday's got some space. Yone Mera back and forth. She's going to put it up. She's not going to be able to get it. Hearn coming down the other way. Daly with plenty of space. Pump fake. Up and good. A 2-on-1 opportunity for the Cougars is something that they're really going to need to focus on taking advantage of. Those gimmies you have to answer with and be able to secure those easy points.
Absolutely.
19-27 here in favor of the Cardinals. Lopez feeds it in to King. King turning. She's trying to take it in. Trotter is able to get her hand on it, and King's going to be called for 3-second violation. Some good pressure from Daly and Trotter, and that's going to force a turnover for the Cougars.
Yeah, one of the things that doesn't show up on the stat sheet either was Yone Mera with a really solid backdoor cut right there. King wasn't battling amongst the trees during that possession. She might have been able to pick her up.
A rare miss there from Daly. Sends things down for the Cougars. Holiday seeing some space. She kicks it out to Lopez. Lopez coming in inside the paint, kicks it back out to Holiday. Yone Mera trying to direct some traffic here. She's going to take the screen from King. A little pull-up from the free throw line. No good. Grace King, only one in there for the Cougars. Able to come away with the rebound and has it poked away by the Cardinals. Oh, my goodness. Where isn't Grace King on the floor?
Yeah, and Grace King picking up the Cougs' first offensive rebound about 15 minutes into this match. Going to be hard to come by, but when you get them, you're going to be grateful.
Going to reset the shot clock here. Reset the shot clock to 18. That's going to give some subs some time to enter into the game. Coming in for North Central is Sanchez, and in for the Cougars is Pedraza. Pedraza with the ball up top. She's got a double screen here. Cutting inside, she's going to have that almost poked away. Yone Mera coming away with it. She's going to find some space. Instead, kicks it out. Lopez, a pull-up from the elbow. No good. Daly with the rebound. Little mid-range jumper there from Trotter. No good. Daly with the rebound. Put back and good. Looked like Daly was fighting her own teammate for a minute before King even got a hand on there. And some miscommunication between Lopez and King causes a turnover, and the Cardinals have the ball once again. 10-point lead for North Central, and she's going to take it all the way. Kate Earn, a strong take and one.
Yeah, it's a big-time shot right there. One of the things you're seeing on North Central that I mentioned a little bit earlier is they're getting some really good takes now inside just a lot of those shots coming from about 10 feet or closer every time. And those are those high percentage shots that you want to get every time if you can.
Earn at the free throw line here. Her first free throws of the day. And I should say singular free throw, and it is good. Ball gets away from Holiday a little bit, but Pedraza coming away. Southern at the top. She hands it over to Yonemera. The kick over. Southern from inside the key. Lopez with the offensive board. Kicks it back out to Holiday. Over to Southern, and she's going to get called for the travel. A little bit of a jump on it. Looking for the pump fake, but definitely got her feet moving a little too early. Cardinals on a 13-3 run in the last 3 minutes, 48 seconds as the Cougars now coming away with it. Kira Holiday getting fouled. They're going to ding Smith for that one.
Just over 3 minutes left in this first half. CUC's going to try and have to find a way to cut into this lead a little bit if they want to make it manageable in the second half.
Cardinals coming down quickly. A wide open three. Bingo! Kennedy Hartwig able to see that one and put it in. And the Cardinals are on fire.
And Cardinals have been truly shooting lights out in this second quarter.
And that one is going to be just dribbled off the leg of Yonemera for another turnover. It's going to be 4 turnovers for the Cougars in the last 3 minutes or so. Not something that you want to see. Again, you talked about trying to keep this game manageable as you're going into the second half, and obviously looking to minimize the scoring from the Cardinals is key, but in that, you have to take care of the ball, value your possessions. Some of these turnovers are preventable, and it comes down to just those communication pieces and controlling the tempo of the game even. The Cougars moving quickly, taking what they can with that North Central press, but at the end of the day, if you need to slow things down to control the ball a little bit better, they've got to do that to take care of the ball.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the things that we're seeing so far that they're kind of struggling with is the game's just kind of speeding up on them.
As Earn is going to drain another three. Oh, my goodness. The Cougars collapsing in to try to shut down Daly, and Earn is taking advantage of that at every opportunity. Holiday at the top of the key. She's got a three. She pulls. That's going to be off. King in there battling for the board on the floor. Earn comes away with it. Again, one of those things to note is Grace King is the only Cougar that is in the paint going after these offensive boards time and time again, as that one is rejected by Sophia Pedraza. Oh, my goodness. Pedraza, one of the smallest on the floors, and she picks up the first block of the day for the Cougars. She comes down, she's got a three, and that's going to bounce a little too high. And we're going to see some subs coming in for CUC. .135 remaining here in the first half. Cougars have not scored in more than 3 minutes. As a three here, no good from Hartwig. Holiday getting the rebound, but she is double teamed. Cougars trying to move quickly and take advantage of the mismatched numbers, but getting back into position. Here's Nickerson over to Holiday. Holiday takes advantage of the screen, feeds King. King kicks out to Nickerson. Nickerson sends it over to Pedraza in the short corner. 4 on the shot clock, 3 on the shot clock. Holiday feeds it into King, has to get one up, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. A really good move from King. I see what the intention was in trying to get that pump fake and get your way to the rim. But unfortunately, with time winding down, you did not have that extra second for that dribble.
Yeah, and then on the other side of things, it's hard to know if Daly was making a smart play, jumping because she knows the shot clock's winding down, or if she truly bid on that pump fake. We'll never know, though.
King forces that turnover, and she's able to feed it up to Pedraza. All heart and hustle from Grace King today. Pedraza gets it up, and that's going to be rejected by Daly. Kind of saw that coming with the size mismatch, but it doesn't make it any less entertaining to see that ball swatted out of there.
Yeah, the reason we know the story of David and Goliath is because it doesn't happen too often. I'll tell you that, Kayla.
25 on the shot clock. Kira Holiday sends it up to Grace King. King thought about it instead, hands it back off to Holiday. Nickerson tried to get one up, I think, or passed off, and it was just rejected once again by Daly. Coming down quickly at the other end, they're going to call no foul. I believe that might be the right call, Dave. Just a little bit of an off-balanced shot from Sanchez. Pedraza was on her hip the entire time that she was coming down and trying to just get that ball up while off balance, and that's what we saw there.
Yeah, just kind of a tough shot overall sometimes in those spots. Just either to slow it up, take those last 16 seconds of the half, and just use it to get a good shot.
Cardinals still in their full court press. The Cougars have potential for the last possession of the game, of the half. Nickerson over to Pedraza. Pedraza kicks back to Yone Mera. Yone Mera for three. No good. Grace King with the rebound. Put back is good. Fire me up, Grace King. That's exactly what the Cougars needed to end the half. Obviously, the three from Yone Mera would have been fantastic, but just that heart and that hustle from Grace King to end the half in that fashion, it's exactly what the Cougars needed. It ends that 13-0 scoring run for the Cardinals, and it gives you a little bit of that boost to head into the halftime.
Yeah, just a little something to get things going. Hopefully that'll fire them up.
So as we head into halftime here, North Central leading the Cougars 38-21. Taking a quick look at some of those stats. Kate Earn, she's got 14 points in the half, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. I mean, that's just a stat that the Cougars are going to have to focus on coming into the second half if they want to keep this game within range.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for CUC for any time their opponent's shooting over 50% from three. That's just naturally going to be a nightmare scenario. If you're CUC, you got to assume and hope that they're good. Those numbers will regress to the mean just a little bit if you want to find yourselves a chance to win in the second half.
As we head into this halftime break, we're going to take a quick break right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Second half action coming up in just about 14 minutes.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
I do have a regular tutor. I come to see him every Friday. This is something I actually started doing here at Concordia. I never really sought tutoring before.
As the Dean of Students, I work closely with our students here, all the way from orientation through to graduation in a variety of capacities. We have CU Learn up on the second floor of the Christopher Center, which is a great space with some fantastic resources for our students.
This is more of a workspace, a hands-on place. We have small cubicles you can work in that have video screens so you can work on a presentation. You can work with your tutors for content areas.
Here at CU Learn, I tutor the natural sciences. For anyone who wants to become a student tutor, it will definitely expand and cement your understanding of the information you already know.
We were friends first, and once she got a job as a tutor, I was like, perfect, I know a tutor. I can go to her for help whenever I need it. I've received help studying and help with writing.
Being a tutor has actually helped me. I think it's kind of shown me where my strengths and weaknesses lie. Kind of complement each other in that sense so we can help each other out.
We've got subject tutors for nearly every subject up there, as well as our writing center. Our writing center is a great resource.
When I assign papers to class, I encourage every student to make sure eyes other than theirs read through the paper. The writing center is the first option. I always encourage students to make use of those resources.
Students can actually email their papers to the Writing Center and get feedback. All of our services are both offered in person in the CU Learn space as well as virtual appointments. Students can access Navigate. Navigate allows students to access a large list of resources, kind of where to go for different needs that they might have on campus. The core values of Christian faith, the individual, excellence, integrity, and service. I see CU Learn living those out every day.
All of your academic supports are concentrated in one location. If you need it, we should be able to help you here.
Everyone's goal in college is to succeed, right? To learn. CU Learn's been great support to my students.
It's never a waste to better your education or to strengthen your skills or skills you may not have. It's always good to learn a bit more and never to just sit back and not do anything.
The space itself, it's a really nice study space, large windows, a lot of natural light, a good quiet environment to work.
It's actually helped me learn a lot. Like even these classes that I've taken before, it's definitely enhanced my learning. So it's fun, I keep learning.
Make sure you come in and try it. It'll feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. I felt more comfortable in my studies, completing anything necessary.
It's helped me become better, it's helped me hone those skills, and it's helped me make sure that my writing and my other academic areas are as strong as they can be.
What's going on? We're still here inside Geisman Gymnasium at halftime of today's Concordia Chicago women's basketball home opener against North Central. Caleb McLeod, Dave Diamond here. We've got ourselves a battle here, and the two teams, they're showing up and they're showing out. North Central, they're taking it to the Cougars inside the paint and outside. Cougars having a little bit of trouble. They're having some difficulty scoring inside the paint. They're finding a little bit more success outside, but they're really struggling to get that offense moving.
Absolutely. I think one of the first things you got to pay recognition to is North Central's offense. In the first quarter, it was all Daly. She was dominating the middle, and then CUC tried to make some adjustments, and just like that, North Central was able to kick it outside beyond the arc. Kate Earns right there, smashing a couple threes, doing what she does. It's been a collective effort for North Central.
Absolutely. Daly already with 16 points here in the first half. A lot of that came in that first quarter, as you mentioned. Shifting gears then, Earn now up to 14 points here in the first half. A lot of that coming in the second quarter. They're finding the options that they need, and they're getting things done where they need to. Cougars struggling a little bit on that. They've got two leading scorers, Yone Mera and Abby Dykstra, both with 8 points. And Dykstra, she's hitting the three. Yone Mera, she's getting her way inside, but they're just not getting it to click together and do that in sync and find their way inside and out.
Absolutely. I think one of the things you're seeing too is Yone Mera is going to be one of those volume shooters. She's going to get her shots up. It's just whether or not they fall. She's had a couple great looks, just unable to get them to flow just a little bit. So we'll see if they can kind of flip that switch and kind of get things a little tighter in this third quarter.
Absolutely, and something we talked about in the pregame show was utilizing Grace King. She's got 4 points so far here in the game, but she's been all over the floor. She's been getting those hustle plays. She's been finding the rebounds, but she's been the only one battling inside the paint on the offensive end, and obviously going up against someone like Daly, who's got a little bit of height, a little bit more of the size advantage. Being able to utilize Grace King for that inside out and then being able to find her feet in, something that we're going to need to see the Cougars pick up a little bit if we want to see more of that offensive production.
Absolutely. You call it a battle. I'd say it's more like a war right now. They're really going at it every time. So we'll see if they can kind of get things going.
Absolutely. We are just under 3 minutes here until the second half. Me and Dave will still be on the call with you when we come back, but a big time showdown here in Geisman. Don't go anywhere, right here on the Cougar Sports Network. here on the Cougar Sports Network for half number 2 of today's matchup. I'm Kayla McLeod, joined by Dave Dimeling. North Central leading 38-21 as we enter the second half. And Dave and I were just talking during the halftime show about what needs to be done for the Cougars.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure, as we kind of saw that offense that North Central was kind of showing earlier on, all dominant in the paint with Daly, and then it was such a seamless switch once CUC tried to double team her in the post. They were able to just bang so many threes that just really felt so frustrating for CUC as they were working so hard.
As this one, no good from Sanchez. King with the rebound. Grace King, we talked a lot about her in the halftime show as Yone Mero's three, no good. Dykstra able to collect the rebound, but she's going to have it almost tied up, batted around a little bit, but the Cougars come away with it. Not quite sure how Dykstra lost that. She was the lone Cougar there, but just immediately swarmed by Cardinals. 5 on the shot clock. Dykstra driving in. She's going to put that one up, and it's going to go right into the hands of Sanchez.
Yeah, I think Daly might have gotten a hand on that, but we'll see what the stat keeper said.
Trotter has that one broken up by Holiday, but can't quite hold on to it, so it's going to stay with the Cardinals. Shot clock at 10. Driving in, no good on it. Trotter gets the rebound, but they're going to call a jump ball. That ball tied up by a handful of Cougars.
So far, these first few possessions for CUC on the defensive side have looked a lot better. A couple strong traps on someone instead of Daly, so we'll see if that's what they're going to go with in this half.
Cardinals still keeping with that full court press that we saw in the first half. Dykstra with plenty of space, a 2-on-1 opportunity. She feeds it into King and then ends up traveling herself. So another turnover here for CUC.
Yeah, CUC, we kind of mentioned it a little earlier, having that very young team. Only a few juniors, no seniors on this team. Kind of puts you in a spot where there's just, unfortunately, just haven't experienced quite enough basketball as some of these other programs. And that's when you're getting to see some of these mental mistakes that just happen where the game just speeds up naturally.
And even with some experienced teams, you're seeing some things for the first time. Like, this team is a very different team than it was last season. So all of this squad playing together, everything still feels fresh and new. As a little hezzy from Yone Mora, no good. Looks like she might have lost her balance a little bit as well. But she took that one all the way to the rim, just couldn't get it to fall. And King now called for the foul.
Yeah, I think one of the other things as well is Yanamura was able to make that move in the first half, and they bid on it so well that they kind of told themselves, we're not falling for that one again. So maybe she's going to have to blend some of those, pass out a few more times just so as they're ready for it.
A turnover there from Smith. Pedraza, she's got some time and space, takes it to the right side and has that one in and out. A good look from Sophia Pedraza, just could not finish it. Cardinals now on the other end. Kiefer takes it inside. She's met by Yone Mera. That one's blocked by Yone Mera. CUC slowing things down a little bit, controlling the tempo here. King at the top of the key. Looks to feed it to Yone Mera, but that's going to get a hand on from Kiefer. Yone Mera's three, no good. Trotter with the rebound. A great read there from Grace Kiefer, almost able to pick up that steal. Just couldn't quite hold on to it. And a nice take in from Sanchez, but she's going to lose control of it for a second, but all stays with North Central as Earn checking back in for the Cardinals. Into the hands of Yone Mero, a one-on-one. She's slowing down, waiting for things to come. She's going to take her time from three. Yone Mero's three, no good. Trotter with the rebound. The three now from Kiefer is good. And Coach Martin of the Cougars is going to take the first timeout of the half. A 20-point lead for the Cardinals. It's a full timeout, so we're going to take a quick break right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, fresh out of the timeout. Cardinals lead the Cougars 41-21 after a big-time three from Kiefer. Cardinals is still keeping up with this full-court press. King has it inside, and that's going to be stripped away by Kiefer. Kiefer now coming down. She's got a one-on-one. Sends it over to Earn. Earn cutting back inside. Has that one rejected by Holiday into the hands of Sanchez. And the Cardinals now take a quick timeout to prevent the turnover. A very strategic timeout from head coach Maggie McCloskey-Bax, making sure that the Cardinals can retain their possession and not turn the ball over there. But a really fast-paced back and forth here between those two teams, and things are starting to feel a little bit frantic for the Cougars. A 20-point deficit is a little bit hardy, but in the game of basketball, that's not unattainable.
No, absolutely not, especially in college hoops. It is truly a game of runs. We saw it earlier in the first half. NCC went on a 19-3 run. Anything they can do, we can do better. You just kind of have to have that mindset when you're out on the court.
Cougars still struggling to figure out the game plan here when you've got both Daly and Earn on the floor. The defense has seemed a little bit more feisty here in the second half as Kiefer takes her chance at a three, no good. Batted into the hands of Nickerson, no good. Earn with the rebound, put back, no good. Cougars come away with it. And Holiday sends it up to Yone Mero. Yone Mero now coming down. Kicks it out to Pedraza. Pedraza over to Nickerson. Nickerson trying to get past Daly, and she's going to get called for the carry. Looks like she lost her balance a little bit.
One of the trends we're kind of seeing so far in the start of the second half is CUC's defense has looked so much better. They've only allowed 3 points in 4.5 minutes. The downside is the offense has looked pretty similar, so it's not really.
As Nickerson picks up the foul on a Daly there.
She gets tagged with that one. Tough hit call right there. Is so undersized, you really hope that she was able to get away with that one. Don't typically see the bigger individual getting blessed with the fouls as often.
First one for Daly is good. Daly 3 for 5 from the line so far today, ahead of that one. 43-21 now in favor of the Cardinals. Yone Mero caught in the trap there. She looks to feed it up to Nickerson. Nickerson lost her footing, but Pedraza able to come away with it. Cougars now settling into their offense. Nickerson puts that one up, blocked by Trotter, but she gets her own rebound. Holiday now with the three, no good, back iron into the hands of Kiefer. Kiefer coming down. The kick to the corner is good. Sanchez picks up the 3 for the Cardinals. And they are just sharing the wealth here in River Forest. Yone Mera, a little stutter step, no good. Right back into the hands of Sanchez. Yone Mera called for the foul there.
Yeah, Yone Mera keeps kind of finding herself on some of these transition 2-on-1s. I think one of the tough parts we're seeing is while it's a 2-on-1, she's not really getting too much help from her teammates as they're kind of finding themselves in awkward spots, whether it's a little bit deep on that baseline jumper or just finding themselves deep on the arc. It's not really a true help, so it's more like a 1-on-1 and a half in a way.
And it's an unfortunate foul for Yone Mera. It's her 4th of the game, and it's still only the 3rd quarter, so getting subbed out here, and that's going to be a hard piece to fill for the Cougars as that ball is knocked out of the hands of Daly. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Can almost anticipate a play that's designed to get the ball into the hands of Daly.
Yeah, we'll see if they set some kind of off-ball screen. There it comes.
Just like we drew it up, Dave. Daly not able to finish it. Cougars with the rebound. Grace King has some space. 1-on-1 with Kiefer. King's shot is good. A little jump stop and up, avoiding the contact, putting that ball on glass. Exactly what you needed if you're Grace King. As Daly is found wide open underneath the basket. A little reverse layup there.
Beautiful bounce pass right there. Just a dime dropper. Finds the man on that backdoor cut, and it's wide open.
Holiday coming down now. She's guarded tightly by Trotter. King, she's got some space. Instead, kicks out to Nickerson. Nickerson's 3, no good. Chalmers almost with the rebound. Instead, Earn with the rebound. She's dribbling her way through traffic. She's going to go coast to coast. No good. Daly puts that one back up. No good. Off the hands of Daly. Cougar ball. Kate Earn cannot believe she did not get a foul call on that layup. Going almost coast to coast with a good finish, but instead, Cougars ball under 4 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Lopez bringing the ball up for CUC. She feeds it up to Nickerson. Emma Nickerson sees some space. She stops and turns. Emma Nickerson having some hard time keeping her balance today. Turns the ball over. Sanchez down low. She kicks it over to Trotter. That ball's batted around, stripped away. Sophia Pedraza comes away with it. Pedraza now with the ball up top for the Cougars. King up top, guarded by Daly. Lopez looking for the backdoor cut. Instead, Grace King, she's going to take it to Daly. Little turn, she's trying to get some space. She puts the ball up and good! Grace King showing some strength inside Geisman Gymnasium. A little short corner for Daly is good. King in a tough spot. She had 2 to guard, just couldn't quite get to Daly in time. Nickerson has the ball up top. She feeds it into Grace King. Grace King up and no good, but she is going to get the foul call on it. Geisman Gymnasium wanted a Nickerson to take that one, but instead she waited for the right person to make that cut. Grace King makes that perfect cut, gets fouled in the process.
Absolutely, Kayla. CUC starting to kind of get things rolling a little bit more on offense each and every possession. Really starting to take their time on each one, and they're starting to establish a little bit better looks.
King's first free throw is no good. And that one is good. Cougar defense staying intense as that ball is stolen by Hannah Lopez. Cougars have some numbers here. Pedraza trying to take it in. She takes it to the hoop, no good, but Grace King, she's got the rebound, looks to kick it back out to Thomas. And that ball is going to roll out of bounds deep in Cardinal territory. And another turnover here for the Cougars. Total turnovers for CUC here. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And this is the Cougars' opportunity now. North Central, there's another big shot right there for North Central.
Hartwig puts a 3 up. I mean, everybody on this North Central roster is proving that they can score, as that ball is going to be poked away by Smith. It's going to stay with the Cougars, but, I mean, North Central is just sharing the wealth from deep.
I mean, they truly are shooting lights out so far in this match. 8 of 14 as a collective group from beyond the arc. That's going to be a tough one, tough team to beat any day of the week.
Natalie Doyle checking in for the Cardinals for the first time here tonight. Chamas, she's looking to take it inside, instead rejected. Feeds Grace King. She's got some size here. She goes up and strong in for 2. That's what you need to keep doing if you are the Cougars. Feeding Grace King the ball inside when Daly is not in the game. Taking advantage of King's strength, as the 3 for Hartwig is no good. But the offensive board for Doyle is. And the Cardinals have a fresh 20. And they're going to get Jocelyn Chamas with the foul. A tough call there. Chamas coming out quick. She's trying to force the play back into the backcourt, force that backcourt violation, but instead she's going to get called a little bit too much aggression on that jump. And the travel called is first against Reddit. A little bit of a jump before she put the ball down. Turnover number 13 for North Central. As we near 1 minute left to play here in the quarter, Pedraza speeding things up. Chamas, she's going to have her chance at a 3. No good. Rebound into the hands of Doyle.
Yeah, not a bad look.
As that ball is up for Hartwig, but fouled by Lopez. Hartwig taking her first free throws of the night. First one up and good.
Buries the second. CUC trying to track down a 27-point deficit with 11 minutes to go in this match.
Pedraza with the ball for the Cougars. She feeds Chamas, and she's going to have her heels on the line. Turnover number 15 for CUC. You're going to see some subs coming back in. Yone Mera coming back in. 41 seconds here in the third quarter. She's playing with 4 fouls, a risky business here.
Yeah, at this point, CUC is going to have to take some risks if they want to have any chance of finding their way back into this match.
Dead ball at the top here for Smith, fed over to Doyle. Doyle cutting back across. She's going to feed Hartwig. Hartwig cuts inside, looks back for Doyle, short corner, no good. Tipped around into the hands of Reddit. Reddit's short corner shot, no good. Ends up in the hands of Grace King. Lindley Southern batting it around a little bit. Lopez has some time, 5 on the game clock. She's dancing around. She's going to try to get a shot up. And is just going to have to heave one up after not being able to turn a corner. And after 3 quarters of play, North Central up big, 55-28. And Dave, something that we talked about in the halftime show was how the Cougars were going to adjust with having such strong three-point shooting and such a force in the paint. And we've seen the Cougars offense slowly start to find its way and start to click, but still not able to get the stops that they need on defense.
Absolutely, Kayla. You're just kind of seeing the wheels turning a little bit more and more as we progress through the game. Obviously, you're taking some steps forward, take some steps back. Obviously, you're not expecting to hit every single shot, but I think the tougher part is just the overall kind of feeling a little demoralized when you have to battle so hard for every bucket. And North Central, on the other hand, anytime the ball is leaving their hands, it feels like it's going through the rim.
And something that we've talked about is the turnovers here, and the turnovers pretty even. Cougars 15 turnovers in the game and North Central 13, but the biggest factor in that is the points off of those turnovers. The Cardinals have been able to turn 12 points off of those turnovers. Meanwhile, the Cougars have only been able to collect 4 points from turnovers. So being able to capitalize on what you are doing defensively, turning that into an offensive translation, and CUC is just really struggling to do so.
Absolutely. The other thing, too, is it might sound a little too simple, but North Central's really just hitting a lot more shots, plain and simple. When the ball is leaving their hand, they're putting it in the cylinder at a much higher clip.
And, you know, we talked about needing to feed the ball inside the paint, especially with Grace King, and utilizing her size and that mismatch when you don't have Daly in the game. But the Cougars are doing a nice job overall, 16 points in the paint compared to North Central's 22 points in the paint. So, as you mentioned, really a lot of this deficit is coming from deep. As that ball is going to be tipped away by Lopez, staying with North Central. Officially in the last 10 minutes here of the home opener for the Cougars. 22 on the shot clock for the Cardinals. Wide open Reddit in the paint, has that one blocked by Grace King. Oh my goodness, Grace King is everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts on that set. If not for Grace King, that should have been a pretty easy bucket for North Central.
20 on the shot clock for the Cardinals, hoping to have a little bit more success here, but instead the offensive foul. Hartwig a little bit too much of a push-off, Thomas going down. So that's going to be turnover number 14 for the Cardinals. CUC now with possession.
Yeah, we'll see if North Central tries to kind of draw out that last foul for Yone Mara. We'll see if that's at the top of their mind or if it's just, if it happens kind of thing.
Yone Mara now with the ball. Feeds Southern at the top of the key. Southern backdoor cut for Lopez, in and out of her hands. And that's going to be heading down the other way. Turnover number 16 for the Cougars. Back-to-back turnovers for both teams. Not something that you want to see if you're fans of either of these two teams. Smith bringing the ball up for the Cardinals. Finds Doyle in the corner. Doyle's three is good! Natalie Doyle with her first bucket of the day. Excuse me, her first deep bucket of the day. 1 for 1 from 3 here. And like we mentioned, Dave, the Cardinals sharing the wealth from deep as King is nailed for the turnover. With Doyle's 3, that is the 4th Cardinal to pick up a 3 here in the game. Yone Mara now slowing things down for CUC. King trying to direct here. Gives the screen up top. Yone Mara's pull up, no good, into the hands of Reddit. Smith with the ball. And Chamas is going to get nailed for the foul there. Yone Mara playing smart defense, knowing that she's got 4 fouls. Letting that defender, letting that offender get past her so that she's not dinged for that, and then instead lets Chamas pick up that foul. Smith able to find some space. She's cutting inside of the paint, and a nice bucket for Dolly Smith. A crafty up and in.
Really crafty, really smooth crossover right there from Smith to find her way to the rack.
60-28 here in favor of the Cardinals. Yone Mara finding some space, a little Euro step, and she's going to make that one in for 2. We've seen Yone Mera try that a couple different times here tonight that just missed or was just off the front iron or the back iron. So seeing that go in is promising for the freshman. But Doyle's going to answer right back for North Central.
Just any type of momentum Concordia gets, it's just an immediate.
The foul picked up there, and Yone Mera playing through the whistles. She's ready to go whenever, and Nickerson on the unfortunate end of that, but teammates checking on teammates, all is well. The handoff to Yone Mera, cut back for 3. Yone Mera is good! A great inbound play for the Cougars gives Yone Mera some space in the corner, and she's able to put it in. Now the important part is getting a stop, and instead King is going to be called for the foul on Daly. Excuse me, not Daly, Lucy Wittenmeyer. New face in for the Cardinals, as her first free throw is up and no good. Wittenmeyer making her season debut here today, picks up her first point of the season on that free throw. And we're going to see some more subs coming in for the Cardinals. Making her first appearance of the night, Kaylin Conklin.
Yeah, I think the more that clock ticks down, the deeper we're going to get into that Cardinal bench, as they're sitting pretty comfortably with that 30-point lead right now.
And like I said, this is a lot of debuts on the season for the Cardinals. They only played 9 players in their season opener against St. Mary's, so seeing a lot of new faces for the first time this season for North Central. Doyle has some space. She's going to take it with ease, up and in for 2. Doyle taking advantage of a sleeping Cougar defense and able to find her way to the basket with no interruptions. King has the ball now outside the 3. Kicks it back out to Holiday. Holiday over to Yone Mera. She's going to take the baseline drive. Up and in for 2. Yone Mera with the and 1. Fire me up. When the Cougars need a little bit of juice, Yone Mera is the person to put the ball with. I mean, she's just finding ways to keep CUC fighting in this, whether it's those big corner threes, whether it's this driving and 1. She's doing these things that the Cougars need to keep that momentum alive.
Absolutely.
As the easy up and in for Wittenmeyer, no good, but she gets the put back up. She was on an island down there for a while. Cougars did not see her at first. Now an intense battle between Wittenmeyer and King in the paint. Dykstra outside the 3. She feeds it into King. King, she's going to take it. Turn up and in for 2. Fire me up, Grace King. Doyle, she's got it. She's taking it in. Somehow finds her way through Dykstra. And Doyle quickly with 9 points here in the second half.
Yeah, definitely making the most of her opportunities that she's had so far in this contest.
Yone Mera has an open 3. Instead, she's going to take it in. Up and in for 2. Yone Mera, she wanted the 3. Instead, it drew the defender out and then found her way into the paint. And now playing some tight defense on Earn. Again, risky. Dykstra on the ground. Doyle is going to take advantage of that. King with the rebound. Pedraza, little stutter step. She kicks out to Dykstra. Dykstra for 3. No good. And that's going to be batted around a little bit, and it's going to be going down. Doyle got her hand on it and was able to throw it off of King's legs. The Cougar student section really calling for it to go back the other way. I think it did have a little back and forth between King and Doyle's legs, but I don't think there's a clear winner there. I think Cardinal ball might be the right call.
Yeah, and a typical standard is the tie's going to go to that defense usually.
Pedraza's going to get called for the foul. She's hanging out on the ground for a little bit. Made the diving attempt to try to break that ball up. Cougar faithful chirping now, getting rowdy here in Geisman. A great effort there from the freshmen. And that's something that you can really talk about with this CUC team is regardless of what we're seeing on the scoreboard, the heart and the hustle from these young ladies has been incredible to watch. And everybody from start to finish has just been battling, going after those 50-50 balls, as you're seeing right now. And it's making a difference in keeping that momentum and any little burst that they can get alive.
Absolutely, and the Cougar faithful see it, and it's reciprocated. I mean, obviously the score isn't what they're hoping for in a day like today, but they're showing up and they're showing out. As you can see that faithful has not yet wavered. They're still in it with 4 minutes left in this contest.
Yone Mera looks to kick out to Dykstra. Dykstra back up to King. Pedraza has it, feeds it inside to Yone Mera, wide open for two. I mean, ball movement from the Cougars is something we have not yet seen today, and I believe everybody on the floor touched the ball on that possession, and that's exactly what you need to be able to see some of that offensive production. And the Cougar student section has come to life. Doyle finding her way inside, taking that baseline drive. 71-42 here, 3.5 minutes to play. As King let that ball go there, trying to get the call for the tip. No replay here tonight, so unfortunately not something that can be looked at, but Yone Mera putting the pressure on Earn. The ball fed up to Conklin. Over for Wolfram. No good, into the hands of Doyle. Doyle sends it back up to Earn. Hit by a screen from Conklin. Some space here for Wolfram. No good. Into the hands of Reddit, and now we're going to see a tie-up. And the ball's heading down with the Cougars.
The Cougars have been struggling to box out a lot of today. You kind of see that on that possession as the Cardinals found themselves getting 4 tries there.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the game. Yone Mera, she's got some space. She's going to take it. The feed up to Pedraza. That's going to be broken up by Doyle. And they're going to get Pedraza for the foul. And that's just a tough call there. I mean, that's just some heart and some hustle from Pedraza, trying to get her hand on that ball. Obviously, you had it knocked away by Doyle, and then just trying to recover it and get there. And sometimes that contact, it's just unavoidable. It's good hustle, and it's not a bad foul to pick up.
Definitely.
It slows down the pace for the Cardinals here, but Doyle says, no thank you, I will pick that pace right back up. Natalie Doyle is having herself a season debut. 13 points here in just 9 minutes of play. Yone Mera, she's driving in, she's got space, puts that one up and in. Yone Mera, 22 points here on the evening. Wolfram's got some space in the corner. She's going to have it no good, into the hands of Yone Mera. Chamas cutting inside. And that one is up and in for 2. Good little pro hop there from Jocelyn Chamas. 73-46 in favor of the Cardinals. And timeout taken by the Cardinals to get some subs in. Entering into the game is Allie Lamb. Coming back in is Lucy Wittenmeyer as well.
Yeah, North Central just uses that timeout right there, trying to get some fresh faces in the game with these final 2 minutes left to play.
That ball is picked off by Yonemura. Coming down quickly. Feeds Pedraza. Pedraza for three. No good. Into the hands of Wolfram. Conklin at the top of the key here. King gets a hands on that into the hands of Yonemura. King now coming down quickly. Has that one up and is fouled by Conklin. Can't make the bucket, but she's going to pick up 2 free throws for herself. Minute 14 to play in the game. Grace King, we've talked about her all night, Dave, really is one of the heart and soul of this team. Just a sophomore for the Cougars, but she is one of the 4 captains on this team, and 11 points, 9 rebounds here in the game. Very familiar spot for King. Picking up point number 12 there, but just 1 rebound away from a double-double yet again.
It feels a little bit like deja vu so far today.
As that one is good for King, and we're going to see Southern checking in for Grace King. 1:14 to play here inside Geisman. Cougars full court press. Conklin bringing the ball up the floor. She's met by Pedraza. Pedraza playing tight defense, and she's going to force Conklin out of bounds. Sophia Pedraza a little bit feisty on defense, and it works out. Cougars on a 6-0 run over the last minute and 20. Meanwhile, the Cardinals 3 turnovers in the last minute and a half. As we near 1 minute to play, Kira Holiday with the ball, feeds it up. Jocelyn Chalmers takes a 3, no good. And that's going to go off of Wittenmeyer. 54.7 to play in the game. Nickerson checking in for Holiday. 20 on the shot clock for the Cougars. Southern inbounding. Lopez has it up top. Kicks it out to Southern. Back up to Lopez. Lopez cutting inside. Finds Nickerson. Pedraza with the cut up and rejected by Wittenmeyer.
Definitely some contact right there, but they're not going to blow the whistle for that.
And another turnover for the Cardinals. They were looking for Wolfram in the corner, but a rocket of a pass just out of reach for her. Lopez bringing the ball up. Less than a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Ball fed in for Southern. Nickerson's going to have that one up and fouled by Wittenmeyer. That's going to put Emma Nickerson at the line for 2. Nickerson's first free throw is good. Free throw number 2, good for Nickerson. 14.4 left in the game. Cougars still keeping up that full court press. Lamb with the ball. She's met with 2 defenders. And they're going to get Lamb for the travel. CUC keeping up the tight, intense defense. Results in another turnover for the Cardinals. 5 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes. And Pedraza's going to hold the ball as the clock runs out. And the home opener for the Cougars met with some heartbreak. Final score 73-50. CUC finding some things done differently here in the second half, and we saw a lot of things change, and it worked out and getting a little bit of a rhythm and some momentum. But the Cardinals, they were just able to score from anywhere on the floor, and it really made the difference here tonight.
Absolutely, Kayla. I think one of the main things you want to look at if you're comparing these first 2 games that CUC's had so far, the offense has already taken a tremendous step forward compared to that season opener. On the other side, it just really feels like the defense is just having so many struggling moments where you finally get the offense going and then you just give it right back to them. And it's really hard to kind of stabilize that momentum when you just find yourself playing catch-up so early on.
Looking at some of these final stat lines here tonight. Daly, 22 points in just 26 minutes played. She was 9 for 14 from the field and had 7 rebounds on the night, but also looking, earned 14 points on the night. She was 3 for 4 from 3, so something that is just spectacular for this Cardinal squad is being able to score from anywhere and just kind of really pick things up where needed and have people that can score when needed, make those adjustments. On the flip side, looking for the Cougars, Yone Mera leading the way for CUC, 22 points. She was 9 for 22 from the field. She picked up 3 rebounds, and Grace King getting it done on the glass, led the way with 9 total rebounds. She also picked up 13 points, second leading scorer for the Cougars. So getting some things done, spreading things around a little bit, and like we mentioned, some of those things, just the difference maker is being able to score from deep, because when you look at those points in the paint, North Central 34 points in the paint, the Cougars 30 points in the paint. The majority of that differential came from deep.
Absolutely.
So that will do it here for CUC and North Central. The Cougars will be back in action this weekend. They are hitting the road for a 2-day tournament in South Bend, Indiana, taking on St. Mary's College Friday night for a 7 p.m. Eastern game, 6 p.m. Central Time, before taking on Albion College on Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern tip-off, 1 p.m. Central Time. So CUC still hunting for their first win of the season, but a hard-fought battle here inside Geisman Gymnasium. And before we sign off, I want to give a huge shout-out to everybody that made today's production possible. Operating our shot clock tonight was Chandler Kerr. Operating our scoreboard, Rosemary Brenner. Doing scorebook for us, Terry McLeod. And on In-Stadium PA, the Hall of Famer, Jim Egan. Calling stats for us was Jack Linko, and our graduate assistant for athletic communications, Sydney Lloyd. Inputting stats was the assistant director of athletic communications, Corey Welch. Our camera operators today, Liam Cameron, Tremaine Dockery, and Aura Cortez. Our producers, that were responsible for making the live stream look as gorgeous as it always does, Alan Mateo and Elliot Higgins. Dave Dimling on the broadcast with me, and signing off here tonight, Kayla McLeod. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Cougar Sports Network, and we'll see you next time for some more Cougar Women's Hoops.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.